بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم الحمد لله رب العالمين وصلى الله على سيدنا ونبينا أبي القاسم المصطفى محمد وآله الطيبين الطاهرين لا سيما بقية الله في الأراضين أجل الله تعالى فرجه الشريف. As you remember, yesterday we started with a hadith from Imam Sadiq alayhi salam. I said this hadith can be found in different books, but I quoted from Al-Amali by Sheikh al-Saduq. According to this hadith, Imam Sadiq alayhi salam said, "Khamsun man lam takun fih lam yakun fihi kathiru mustamta'in." There are 5 things that if someone lacks, there is not that much merits in him, not that much achievement has been made by him. Qila wa ma hunna. Then it was asked, what are those 5? Yabna Rasulullah, O son of the Messenger of God. Qala alayhi salam, الدين والعقل والحياء وحسن الخلق وحسن الأدب. Those 5 are deen, faith, al-aql, reason, rationality, al-haya, to have positive sense of shame. You don't do certain things because you yourself feel that these things are improper, so it's internal resistance against doing or saying or appearing as immoral person. Wa husnul khulq, having good temper, not to be harsh. Wa husnul adab, and to have good manners. So from this we understand that adab is different from akhlaq. Akhlaq is your traits of character, those qualities of the soul, virtues and vices. For example, someone is honest, someone is dishonest. Someone is brave, sometimes someone is fearful. Someone is modest, someone is not modest. These are akhlaq, these are traits of character. These are your moral characteristics. Adab is different from akhlaq. I give you an example, but inshallah in the coming nights it becomes more clear. For example, imagine you are generous. So generosity is akhlaq, is part of your moral traits of character. But now you want to show your generosity. Suppose there are some poor people, you want to help them. How do you help them? How do you bring your generosity into action? Sometimes you may feed the people, maybe give money or shelter to people without respect. You may humiliate them, although you are helping them, but at the same time you may be humiliating them. For example, if God forbids, I throw money at them, I throw food at them. This is not respectful. This is not adab. You have hospitality as a quality, but then how do you treat your guests? There are lots of manners and etiquettes that you have to observe when you have guests. You cannot say, I have guests, I am feeding them, giving them bed, so I am hospitable enough. No. To be hospitable is something, but to know all the etiquettes and manners, all the adab that you should have with respect to your guests is something else. Even when it comes to our relation with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, okay, you may be praying, but what about adab of prayer? What are the manners of a person who is praying to Allah? If someone is standing before Allah, the Lord of the all worlds, what type of approach you should have? If you go and meet a king and speak to the king, it's not just enough that you speak to the king. How are you speaking to the king? How polite you are? How respectful you are? How much you observe the etiquettes of being in a palace, for example, or in an official gathering. These are all related to adab. We come to masjid, alhamdulillah. This is very good. Maybe one of the best places that we can go and spend our time is to come to masjid, is come to the place of worship. But just coming to masjid is enough? Aren't there etiquettes and manners that we have to observe? Certainly there are many things that we have to observe. We cannot say just because the place is good, so it's enough. When Musa alayhi salam, for the first time, received revelation, there's a beautiful story here. You find it in some place in the Quran, for example, in Surah Taha, chapter 20. Musa alayhi salam, when he saw a fire from a bush, he told his family, wait here. I am going to check this fire. فَقَالَ لَأَحْلِهِمْ كُثُوا إِنِّي آنَسْتُ نَارًا. Said to family, wait here, because they were traveling. It was night, it was dark, it seems it was cold. And he was very careful about safely taking his family with him in this dark night. He was very alert, very cautious. On the side, he saw a fire. I say on the side because if it was in front of them, there was no need to tell them, wait, I go and check. If it was in front of them, they could have continued and see it. It was on the side. And this shows that you have to be checking 360 degrees. Dangers and opportunities do not necessarily come from before your eyes. Dangers and opportunities may come from right or left or even behind. If Musa alayhi salam was only looking in front of him, he was missing this opportunity, which was the greatest opportunity of his life. So he went towards fire, and it appeared that this was not an ordinary fire. This was a fire which was a sign of guidance. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala started talking to Musa alayhi salam. Innani ana Allah, la ilaha illa ana. For the first time, he received revelation. But it is interesting, very interesting, that in this important moment, in this historical moment, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, among different things that he says to Musa is, فَخْلَعْنَ عَلَيْكَ إِنَّكَ بِالْوَادِ الْمُقَدَّسِ طُوَى. I know you are Musa, you are a prophet. I have chosen you. I have selected you. أَنَا اخْتَرْتُكَ. Revelation is coming to you, but be careful about your shoes. Everything has to be dealt with on its own. You cannot say it doesn't matter. It's a secondary issue, whether I have my shoes or not. No. Everything matters. When you are in a sacred place where you feel the presence of Allah, you cannot have your shoes. Even if this shoes is clean. Suppose you have just a brand new shoes and bringing out from the box, and then you want to put on your shoes. Even this is not acceptable. You have to have no shoes. Let alone bringing shoes that has touched dirty places outside. When you are with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it's not polite to have your shoes. And also, in my understanding, it gives a kind of impression that you are not feeling at home. When you are with Allah in a place of worship, remove shoes because you should feel at home. So this etiquette is so important that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala very clearly at the beginning of revelation, at the beginning of prophecy of Musa says, فَأَخْلَعْنَ عَلَيْكَ. So etiquettes and manners are very important, and inshallah we will talk about this in these coming nights. So husnul khulq wa husnul adab, these are two different things. Husnul khulq, like generosity. Husnul adab, how you show your generosity. Husnul khulq, hospitality. Husnul adab, how do you observe the manners of being a good host? So these are two important things. Tonight I want to mention, with inshallah blessing of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, few hadiths from Amirul Mu'mineen about the significance of adab. And all these hadiths are from Ghurarul Hikam. As you know, Nahjul Balagh is not the only collection of the hadiths of Amirul Mu'mineen. It's just one collection. We have also many hadiths from Amirul Mu'mineen which are not in Nahjul Balagh. Another collection of hadiths of Amirul Mu'mineen, especially short sayings of Amirul Mu'mineen, is Ghurarul Hikam by Amudi. In Ghurarul Hikam, we have many hadiths from Amirul Mu'mineen about adab. It shows that Amirul Mu'mineen was very concerned about adab. Many hadiths, everything I'm going to say is from Amirul Mu'mineen. For example, al-adabu kamalur rajul. Al-adabu kamalur rajul. Adab, courtesy, is perfection of a man. Man means human being, can be man or woman. Is perfection. It means that you should have other things without which you would be incomplete. Like what we said, deen, aql, akhlaq. But what perfects you is adab. Those of you may remember we had discussion about imama we said there is a difference between tamam and kamal. When we discussed the verse from Surah Ma'idah, اليوم أكملت لكم دينكم وأتممت عليكم نعمتي. We said why Allah says when it comes to ni'mah, atmamtu, I completed blessings. When it comes to deen, says I perfected. What is the difference between tamam and kamal? Ayatollah Mutahari has a very beautiful point here. He says tamam means completion. Imagine you are making a house. If your house still doesn't have the roof, it's not tamam, it's not complete. If it doesn't have door, doesn't have windows, it's not tamam. But if you have all the parts, but there is no furniture, here we say it's not kamil. Tamam and kamal, or you can say tam and kamil. Because without furniture, without curtains, without, for example, fridge, you cannot live in this house, although the house as construction is finished. Imama for religion is a matter of perfection, in the sense that if you don't believe in imama, you are still a Muslim. If you don't believe in imama, you can be still a Muslim. But imama is what gives religion perfection, in the sense that you can now use your religion in the right direction. I don't want to go into this discussion because it takes us away. But if you are interested in discussion about imama and wilaya, I have mentioned this. So, kamil is something which is not only complete, it has all the parts, but it's also perfect. A person who has iman, who has aql, who has knowledge, who has good traits of character, very good. But if it doesn't have adab, if it doesn't have courtesy, politeness, he is not still perfect. Still there are problems. It's like a house which has no furniture. You cannot use a house without furniture, even if everything is built properly. Al-adabu kamalur rajul. Another hadith, Amir al-Mu'minin said, Ya mu'min, inna hadha al-ilma wal-adab thamanu nafsik. O believer, knowledge and adab, courtesy, are value of you, price of you. If you want to see how valuable someone is, you cannot weigh him, say, how much is his weight? How much is his height? Or how much is his salary? If this person is, for example, making lots of money, his income is very high, so his value is high. If he is poor, he has no value. No. You cannot measure the value of people by the money that they make. You cannot measure the value of people by the size of their house or model of their car. Amir al-Mu'minin says, إِنَّ هَذَا الْعِلْمَ وَالْأَدَبَ ثَمَنُ نَفْسِكَ. Your knowledge shows your value. We have this famous hadith from Amir al-Mu'minin, Nahj al-Balagha, قِيمَةُ كُلِّ امْرِئٍ مَا يُحْسِنُهُ. Value of every person is what he or she knows properly. Knowledge is a very important part of any person's excellence and achievement. Wal adab. Your adab, your politeness, your good manners, your courtesy is your value. Fajtahid fi ta'allumihima. Amir al-Mu'minin says, so do your best in getting knowledge and getting adab. You should acquire good manners. فَمَا يَزِيدُ فِي عِلْمِكَ وَأَدَبِكَ يَزِيدُ فِي ثَمَنِكَ وَقَدْرِكَ. Whatever adds to your knowledge and adab adds to your value and price. So we all should try to learn and, of course, then implement and practice good manners, good etiquettes. In another hadith, Amir al-Mu'minin said, إِنَّكَ مُقَوَّمٌ بِأَدَبِكَ. You are evaluated based on your adab. If we have two mu'min, one is polite, one is not very polite. Which one is valuable? The one who is polite. Mu'min has to be most polite person. Never hurts anyone. Never uses any impolite words, any rude words. Whether it is face to face, whether it's virtual, online, doesn't make difference. We have to be very, very polite and respectful. In another hadith, Amir al-Mu'minin says, Al-adabu ahsanu sajiyatin. Adab is the best disposition, the best trait of character. Afdalu sharaf al-adab. The best honor is adab. Everyone wants to be honored, to be gentlemen. The key is adab. In another hadith, Amir al-Mu'minin says, خَيْرُ مَا وَرَّثَ الْآبَاءَ الْأَبْنَاءَ الْأَدَبِ. The best legacy that you can leave for your children is adab. In Nahj al-Balagha also we have La miratha kal adab. If you leave millions of pounds for your children, it's not as good as leaving them with adab. If they have adab, they would be loved by everyone. They would be successful. But if they don't have adab and they have money, what can they do? No one would love them. No one would live with them. خَيْرُ مَا وَرَّثَ الْآبَاءُ الْأَبْنَاءَ الْأَدَبِ. If you have a child who is polite, first you enjoy yourself. One of the greatest pleasures in the world is if you have polite children. They are polite with you, polite with each other, polite with other people. How embarrassing it is if your child is rude and all the time creates troubles. You receive complaints from neighbors, from school, from workplace. Everyone is annoyed by them. It's very embarrassing. In another hadith, Amir al-Mu'minin alayhi salam said, إِنَّ النَّاسِ إِلَى صَالِحِ الْأَدَبِ أَحْوَجُ مِنْهُمْ إِلَى الْفِضَّةِ وَالذَّهَبِ. People have greater need for adab than for silver and gold. We have material needs. We have to meet our material needs. We need money, we need gold, we need silver. Okay, no problem. But you need adab more than you need gold and silver. Adab is something that in all stages of your life, with respect to everyone far and near, it helps you. So if we want to invest, we should invest on adab. If we want to compete, we should compete with respect to adab. If we want to leave legacy of adab. Inshallah, we continue this discussion tomorrow. We ask Allah, inshallah, to give us success in this important area of life, which is acquiring good traits of character and good manners, inshallah.